Welcome back to American Girl Collectors. So my dolls and their tablets have been asking me silly questions, and I thought I would go ahead and answer my dolls' questions because they have a mind of their own and they have questions too. So, question number 1. Why do you love dolls? I love my dolls because to me they're like little people and they're so cute. Every time I see something really cute with a doll, I just go ahead and want to bring it home and dress them and look after them. So to me it's like having a pet almost. They're really cute and really good for me. Number 2. Why don't you ever stop collecting dolls and toys? Because I like playing with them. I'm not really the type of person to go out often. I like to stay at home, and when I have dolls and toys, I like to occupy my time, and that's just how I spend my time with my dolls and my toys. So why do you do it alone, and does anybody else help you? Yes, I do hold my stuff all by myself. My entire collection has been on my own. I've never asked my parents or anybody for help. So I've always done it on my own, and it's nice knowing that all of it came out of me. So, how do you organize your collection? This is a difficult question because I sometimes move stuff around. I like to keep my room neat and tidy so that I always have space for more stuff. Whenever it comes to my boxes, I have to keep them in another room on a shelf so I make sure that they never get harmed. So I just always clean my room. How do you build the sets? The sets for the dolls furniture is basically decided on how big the furniture pieces are and where it goes. So like I have to keep the kitchen with the living room. I gotta make sure the washroom is separate and private. I gotta make sure all the areas are properly organized. And I always buy like arts and crafts supplies at the store if I ever need to keep the sets. So what materials do you use when building doll sets? For the doll set outside, I basically used paper, paint, tape, basic simple things. It's not like I go to I just basically get arts and crafts supplies, and it's good enough for that. Do you have any other toy areas? I do have a place for my Barbie dolls. I have a place for my other doll collections that are on shelves, Baby Alive's, Cabbage Patch Kids, Lopes. But those don't have their own sets. The 18-inch doll sets is the biggest that I have in my filming area. When do you get the doll studio to film? When I got this area was when I moved into this house a few years ago. But if you watch my old videos, you'll notice that the bedroom is different because I was living in another house. It was back in 2016. August is when I started getting into it. And that's actually when I told my parents that I wanted more filming space. So that's when I moved into a bigger house so I could have a filming studio. What equipment do you use for filming? I recently posted one where I showed a little SD. Basically what I use, I like Windows types of computers. I like Acer, Samsung, that sort of thing. I have no idea how to use Mac or Apple, that sort of stuff. Because I did go to business school for technology a few years ago, and we didn't learn anything about Apple. All we learned was Microsoft. So all I know for my videos is all Microsoft. Does YouTube allow all sorts of uploads? Well, I do know that if you're watching TV and you're filming a video and like the TV is playing in the background, YouTube will probably say copyright on it just because your TV was on in the background. I think that's kind of ridiculous because you gotta like even be careful about the background sound. But I had to like take it down and fix it, but you just gotta be careful with the sound that's in the background. Will YouTube ever reject a YouTube upload? I don't think they've ever rejected mine. They will say it's not going to be monetized, which means you don't get data out of it. That usually happens when they ask you for your cell phone number. It comes out of your cell phone plan. So that's also for social media also. Which is the best way to film and store footage? The best way to film is your cell phone, because your cell phone has a flashlight, most likely, and it's just really easy. I know some people started getting like fancy with the lighting. I bought a spotlight once at Walmart for like $10, but of course plugging it into a wall, you need an extension cord and stuff. I just recommend your cell phone. Can anyone start a channel on agtube? Of course, but you have to have a good reputation. It's not like you can come onto YouTube and have done like bad stuff before on another channel and then expect YouTube not to find out. It will find out. So you have to make sure you have like a clean record. How do you use social media? I was using Facebook a long time ago, but ever since Instagram took over a few months ago, I just don't even use Facebook. But I started a TikTok not long ago. I just use YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Which apps are necessary to use? Well, it really depends on how you want to post your videos. I know some people, they post YouTube videos and they do not share it onto Instagram. But I like posting it on Instagram just so I can keep a record of it later. Oh, like I uploaded that day, that sort of thing. Which computer software can you use to film stop motions with? Like I said, all I know is Microsoft because it's the easiest and it's the most convenient and affordable. It depends on what computer you have, but some older computers and netbooks have Windows Movie Maker. That I know, according to business school that I went to, that it's like the easiest one to use. You want to film a stop motion? Sometimes all I take is 3 pictures. My doll films this way, I move your head, and then you can copy those 3 pictures and paste them as many times as you want. So it's really convenient on Windows Movie Maker. Now with the fancier Windows, I think it's Windows Story or something like that, you could definitely copy and paste the same picture. So I recommend Windows softwares. How many pictures do you need to put an AGSM together? Well, it really depends on the pictures and what I'm filming. Let's say my dolls are talking and I want them to talk for maybe like 40 seconds. All I need are 3 pictures and I copy and paste them until it reaches 40 seconds. But if they're walking or if they're picking something up, then it's 1 picture at a time because you want it to be in order. So how do you dress your dolls? I have 34 dolls to dress 18-inch. I don't go ahead and dress them individually because I want to swap all their clothes. So first I have to undress all the 18-inch dolls, including American girls, and then I have to sort their clothes out, dress them, and I save the 2 bitty babies for last. How often do you swap doll clothes? I have to do it all at the same time, and I only do it after I film a stop motion. So I film a stop motion, and then I can change them. Which items do you collect from American Girl? Well, anything that they come out with, really. I know some people don't collect the books, like those activity kits or the fun little DIY books. I like collecting all those. But because of this COVID stuff, the American Girl places here in Toronto aren't really stocked up. I was calling like for a long time, so I would have to buy it online. I did notice they came out with the new pajamas. I'm gonna wait till after Halloween to get the holiday pajamas, so I always get what they come out with. I don't get every single item because that's kind of ridiculous, but I try getting a few items from the collection. Which items? What other brands do you collect for 18-inch dolls? Well, I collect My Life as a Walmart. I usually go to Walmart to buy my pet food once a month, and my bunny, my cat, my hamster. That's when I get to check out the My Life size area. Journey Girls is now Be Friends, so it's whenever I go to Toys R Us, and that's usually to check out the Harry Potter aisle too, because they have like nice Harry Potter toys there. Springfield isn't sold in Canada. I remember I tried buying it online and it was really difficult to come across. So it's mainly just those 3. In our generation, it's difficult for me to find them too. How many accounts do you use for AGC? The reason why I have 5 of them is because when I was younger I had YouTube channels and I didn't want to neglect those channels, so I turned them into American Girl collectors, which is why I have 5 of them. When do you change the style of your uploads? I usually, I was showing all my Taynia dolls and I didn't even end up showing all of them. I wanted to, but I didn't. And I didn't show all the Be Forevers and stuff. But I tried doing series, so like every 3 months or something like that, up just so it's not boring and repetitive. How often do you start a new series? Well, every 3 months, maybe every 6 months. How do you avoid people who don't support a doll or toy collections? Well, I know some people, they're like, that's so immature, but if you think about it, there's a lot of people on YouTube who collect different types of toys, and I think it's cool. It's all novelty related, really, so I just ignore them. Which audience is your type for AGC? I know little kids can watch my videos because I don't want their parents to be like, oh my gosh, what a bad YouTube channel. I don't want you watching that ever again. So I always make sure with like my language and like funny weird things. Like I remember a few years ago, 2017, I got a whole bunch of My Life as dolls, and I tried making them into these really scary gothic dolls, but some people didn't like that because it was scaring their kids, so I had to take those videos down. It was kind of a shame. How do you style your doll's hair, including AG wigs? I recently did something where I showed how to do their hair on top of the AG wigs. I'd make like a wig on top of their wig. I buy yarn at Walmart. They have a huge selection of different yarn hair colors and stuff. I just basically try to collect as many yarn balls as I can. And it doesn't shed, so it's not like I'm really losing hair, so I don't need to do it that often. Do you mind if people copy your upload? I don't mind if they copy my upload because in a way YouTube, everybody's sort of copying off each other. And if they like the idea, then they can definitely go ahead and make their own video that looks like it. Why not? What would you say to someone who wants to film doll and toy shows? To not be shy about it and don't be like worried about what people think. If you want to do it, just do it. How do you decide which dolls to bring home? That's very difficult. I remember I had to, whenever I would go to the thrift store, it's not like I go often, I go like 3 times a year, but every time like I found all my Our Generation dolls there, and I would just walk by and be like, ooh, that's a nice doll. And then I'd walk around the store and be like, maybe I should go back and get it. So I don't really like every single doll I see. It's not like I bring home every doll. It's if I really like it. Do you support the educational part to American Girl? Yes, and that's actually one of the reasons why I love American Girl, because they have books and they're always teaching kids how to be literate and learn how to read and write, so that's important. We only have 2 more questions. 3 more. What do you post on social media and not on YouTube? Oh, that on Instagram stuff is basically my other toys, like my little toys that I play with here and there when I'm not filming 18-inch doll stuff. Sometimes I post it on YouTube, but do you have fun at AGC? Yes, I spend all my time on YouTube making my videos, and every time I go somewhere I like to bring my camera and a doll so I can film an outing, and I always have fun filming my toys. It's actually what I look forward to, and I always make sure I do it regularly and not to neglect my channel. And the last question is, how did you get into American Girl? In 2015, December 27, 2015, it was the day after Boxing Day, I remember. I'm like, I wanted to go get a doll, but of course it was the day after Boxing Day, so all the dolls were taken. And then I ended up going to the thrift store. I'm like, oh, here's one, and I found my first 18-inch doll, which was a Maria Springfield. And then I had her lying around at home, and then around in August, I was sort of living far up north. They didn't really have internet up there, but I finally managed to get internet, and I'm like, whoa, what's this AG tube? And that's actually when I got into it. So, my dolls asked me 34 questions, and I hope I answered them all because now they know a bit more about